Yo, what's up? It's Mysterious here. Today, I wanted to give a brief overview of the PokeDex and PokeMMO. To start off, if you hit the N as in Nancy key, it'll pull it up from the shortcuts, and then from here, let's go ahead and pull up Eevee. As an example, we can see the Pokemon's ability, their hidden ability. It is important to note that not all Pokemon have access to their hidden ability. We can see their held items when they're in the wild, their egg group for breeding, this is very important, and we can also see their EV healed for if we're horde training, or however you prefer to EV train. At the very bottom we can also see their PvP tier for if we're trying to build a competitive team. We can see moves from start, all of their level up moves, their TMs, HMs. We can also see tutor moves, which are specific to the tutors in each region, such as Kanto, Hoenn, Unova, etc. And then we also have the egg moves, which can only be obtained through breeding with specific Pokemon. And then we've got these special moves, which are typically taught through places like the Battle Frontier with battle points. The base stats are important for things like nature. If you're not sure on what nature you should use for a Pokemon, this can be a good guide, or you can just Google it. Typically there are people who have done a ton of research as to why a nature is good for each Pokemon. The Wild Locations tab is very important. It can show us where to catch Pokemon, such as if they're a rare, common, uncommon, very rare, or if they're a lure. I did just want to take a moment to break down what a lure is because it is relatively new. You can buy these in any Pokeshop or Pokemart, and they increase your encounter rate. They make the Pokemon stronger. You can have like 2 Pokemon in a battle instead of just the single encounters. And then it also gives you a 5% chance to encounter lure exclusive species. As we can see here, Eevee is one of those. Take a peek at the evolution tree, we can see even more information such as what stone to utilize, if they evolve through happiness during the daytime, nighttime. Leafeon and Glaceon, they level up near the Mossy Rock and Icy Rock, and Pheno. There are rocks in each region, but there's another guide on that. We also have access to multiple different Pokedex, such as the National, Alpha, Kanto, Hoenn, Pheno, and Unova. These are all region specific, and this can be helpful for when you're going through and you're like, what Pokemon haven't I caught yet? And you're like, I don't know. So if you filter by Kanto, it'll change the amount that you've seen, owned, caught, etc. to just that region, which is very helpful. If we take a peek in the top right corner, we'll also see the competitive tiers for Ubers, overused, underused, never used, and untiered. The ones to keep in mind are typically OU, or overused, and NU, or never used. Ubers are not obtainable for long stints of time in PokeMMO, and then other players can battle you and take it away from you. It's convoluted, but it is a really cool system. The Safari Zones of each region are great assets. They allow you to access a variety of Pokemon at a discounted price. You spend around 500 Poke-Yen for about 30 Pokeballs. Currently we have one in Kanto, Hoenn, and Pheno. Johto is coming out in spring of 2023, so we will have access to that Safari Zone soon as well. The Kanto Safari Zone is located in Fuchsia City. The Hoenn Safari Zone is located on Route 121 to the west of Lily Cove City. And the Great Marsh is located in Pastoria City. Once we get access to Johto, the Safari Zone will be on Route 48. I also wanted to take a moment to call out specific Pokemon like Feebas. This Pokemon can only be obtained on one tile in a lake. There are groups of people that go through and look for this tile, but I personally could not find any, and I had to go through and manually search by myself, one tile at a time. It was torture. But other than that, there are also Pokemon like Drillbur, who will also show as special. Or another one would be Audino. These Pokemon are not the same. These are called Phenos or Phenomenon Pokemon. They can only be obtained in Unova. There are guides that specifically break this down. I will have those linked in the description below. My best tip for finding the Phenos and Feebas are to join Petrowski's server. And you may be wondering, are there any rewards for completing the PokeDex? And until here recently, there weren't any. But thankfully, the devs patched in the ability patches for all of the starter Pokemon. So if you started with a grass type starter, then you would get a grass hidden ability patch for that region. So again, it just depends on each region, and then also what starter you picked. PSA, you do not need to catch the legendary Pokemon to complete the Pokédex. However, you would be a legend if you went ahead and liked, commented on the video, let me know what you thought. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Remember to like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for your time.